on those supports. The crash remains under investigation by the State Highway Patrol. In the Bismarck-based North Dakota National Guard soldiers are back from a deployment at the southern border. About 75 of the 957th Engineer Company returned to North Dakota yesterday after more than a year away. We're told the soldiers were supporting U.S. Customs and Border Protection at the U.S.-Mexico border. About 30 additional soldiers returned last week, and 15 more are expected to return home this weekend. This is Ty Schoen with The Flag and AM1100theflag.com. First of the news when you need to know.
If you've had COVID-19 or some strain of it, you've most likely experienced cognitive dysfunction, otherwise known as brain fog. Hi, I'm Dr. Oliver Siriset, and I'm here to tell you that it is real. Brain fog isn't a medical or scientific term. It's a term used by individuals to describe how they feel after COVID. Sluggish, fuzzy, downright exhausted. For some, the brain fog lasts up to 8 months. Siriset has helped others, and we can help you. Siriset, relax, rebalance, reset.
Republicans stick with their leader. I'm Frank Motak, Fox News. Kentucky Republican U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell has been reelected Senate Minority Leader after receiving a challenge to the leadership position from Florida Senator Rick Scott. Senator McConnell says he's ready to continue the fight after Republicans came up short in the Senate following the midterm elections.
Collectively, I think, had a good discussion about what happened in the election and what happens in the next election. And I think everybody in our conference agrees we want to give it our best shot to finish the job in Georgia and concentrate on that for the next month. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to continue to serve.
The vote came after the Senate Republican Conference rejected a motion to delay the leadership election. Meanwhile, the U.S. Senate today advanced a bill to protect same-sex and interracial marriages. This puts Congress on track to ensure such marriages are protected in federal law. The Senate voted to repeal the Clinton-era Defense of Marriage Act and require states to recognize all marriages that were legal where they were performed. If approved by the House, the new Respect for Marriage Act would also protect interracial marriages by requiring states to recognize legal marriages regardless of sex, race, ethnicity, or national origin. It's sentencing day for the man convicted of killing 6 people after deliberately running them over in his SUV at a Christmas parade in Wisconsin last year. First, the judge heard victim impact statements, including one from Brooke Sorensen, who lost her grandmother in the attack.
The things we will miss the most are not seeing her again, her smile, her laugh, being able to talk to her, and doing fun things with her. My sister and I pray every night for our Grammy and our family. Grammy, I will see you in my dreams, and I know you will be watching over me.
Altogether, 45 people delivered statements in court about how the tragedy changed their lives. Darrell Brooks was found guilty of 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, and each count carries a mandatory life sentence. America is listening to Fox News.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovyx.
Orgovyx Relugolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovyx is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovyx may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovyx can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovyx treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovyx may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovyx. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
Mostly cloudy for this evening with a few scattered light snow flurries. We'll have a southwest wind around 10 to 20, which will turn to the northwest overnight around 10 to 25, with some scattered snow showers continuing into Thursday, mixing with strong wind gusting over 30 to the northwest, producing some blowing snow and reduced visibility on your Thursday. We'll have a high of 23 with temperatures falling towards 3 above Thursday night. A light dusting up to 2 inches of snow is expected. From the Flag Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
There's one man on this earth who really, truly gets it.
If at the end of the day, the Mitch McConnells win out, if the Mitt Romneys win out, and the Chris Christies and the Hogans, then count me out. And I'm going to lead a movement where millions and millions of us refuse to back the Republican Party. They keep threatening us. They keep talking about the people who lost, what kind of reprobates they were, when they wouldn't even support them.
Mark Levin is on the radio.
Live from the PetroSurge USA studio, it's the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free.
Enjoy the freedom while you have it, and welcome to 2024. This is the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. I want to know from you, how do you feel about President Donald Trump announcing he is running for president again in 2024? By the way, just want to remind you, it's so easy to get caught up in it. It's still November of 22. We're 2 years away, and he makes the announcement that, hey, I'm in for 2024. And if you just are joining us just a moment ago, the great one, Mark Levin, just said, yeah, and if that Mitch McConnell guy, if he's in again, I'm out of here. We're going to make a movement. Guess what? Mitch McConnell's in. John, did you like that impersonation? Was I nailing Mark Levin? That's right. I said it.
That's right. I said it. That was good.
So, yes, Mitch McConnell is in as well. He was reelected as the GOP Senate leader. Let me just make a really important point about that. Minority. I would love to say to you today, majority leader, but no. Because of Mitch McConnell's ineptitude, I need to say minority leader. So we'd love to know your thoughts on that as well. And I've got a clip from Cocaine Mitch from earlier today, asked about, hey, how do you feel about President Trump making the announcement yesterday? And of course, we get this milquetoast answer, which you'll see exactly why people are so fed up with what's happening within the GOP. And we've been saying now for months, it is a uniparty. I said to you a while back, and many of you thought I was absolutely nuts when I said there's going to be a third party. When that happens, I don't know exactly when. I can't give you an exact date. It's coming. Just prepare yourself. We need to understand it very, very well. Again, you might think I'm crazy, but I think that's where there's an incredible opportunity to utilize Bitcoin and some other resources to help fund a third party group of people that want to go out there and actually restore this great nation. You know, I had a great conversation with my uncle who was in town while my grandpa was passing away. And maybe a better question for you today, and we're going to get into President Trump's announcement yesterday here in just a moment, give you some analyzation of it, what he had to say, and a couple things you really need to pay attention to. And now, one of the things that I think make President Trump is he may be one of the best, I call him framers. I come from, a communication background, meaning I've done a lot of sales and marketing. I understand how to frame a conversation, when to frame it, how to frame it, the importance of framing it. And boy, he just jumps right in and starts the frame immediately to begin to minimize his opponents. And he's done a brilliant job of that last night. But I guess another important question I want to know from you today is just, how do you feel about what's going on right now? Like, everybody I talk to, including John, and talking to a buddy of mine today, like, everyone's they're exhausted. They are just absolutely exhausted. And that's why I'm not sure if, last night was the right timing for President Trump to make this announcement. But that's what I want to know from you. The number to call into the show, always 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. So we'll share with you a little bit about President Trump's announcement, the situation with Mitch McConnell in the Senate. And then also, if we have time, I do want to share with you a little bit about from Klaus Schwab. Klauser, the head of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, some things he had to say over at the G20 that I think you can say, look, you may not like President Trump. You may not want him to even win. All you and I know is that the principles need to live on. Meaning America first principles. Because when you hear what Klaus Schwab is up to, it's very, very clear that the elites, it is going to be entertaining, right? Like, I love when President Trump would do his rallies and he'd be like, the elites, they're not the elites. You're the elites. We're the elites. They're not the elites. I have the New York, the Manhattan apartment. We're the elites. Ray says this: are you going to address Bill Gates admitting climate change isn't real and carbon capture and bees used to kill cattle degrade crop? I have not seen that clip. Why are oil pockets and shale formations being injected with carbon? If you got the clip or a link to that, Ray, please email us. It's studio@chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio@chrisbergshow.com. So how do you feel about President Trump making this announcement? How do you feel about Mitch McConnell being reelected as the GOP leader? Number to call in, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. So she's got a link here. So during the break, we'll see if we can find, if you've got a timestamp, Ray, please let us know that as well. And we'll be more than happy to share that with our audience, because that is a fascinating conversation. Gosh, there's so much to talk about. All right, let's get into President Trump here last night. I think this is obviously the most important part of the conversation. Oh, are you kidding me? So I'm playing this on a Fox News link, and of course, they got to play their ads. Here we go. If you watched last night, is there anybody better at production, reality television than Donald Trump? And I share that because, boy, you watched last night. He walks up to the stage. He's got the swagger. We all know that. And it just fits. The flags behind him, the way he addresses the mic. I mean, it just absolutely fits. I want to play for you a little bit more of his conversation here, because I think this is an important frame. Again, you talk about frames, the way he framed things. I will get into some specifics early on in the speech here in a moment that you just want to pay attention to, why he's saying the things he is, the where he's saying those things. But also here, this is, I think, a new frame for him, one that's really, really important if he's going to get the nomination in 2024. Es todo verdad. Mucho Hispanics, voting for the GOP, for Trump. You saw it in Florida. If you look down in southern Texas, people just don't get it. And it's something that you and I, again, we've talked about this for months. Like, wait a second. Hey, GOP, you've got all these Hispanics coming to the border. All you've got to do is go sell them on, hey, this is why you're coming here. This is why you're sacrificing your life because of the American dream. You flip them into a GOP voter, and that border is going to shut down in no time. So as the numbers continue to move, you're going to see more and more Democrats all of a sudden like, oh yeah, that wall thing again. Remember when we were for that back in like the late 90s, early 2000s? I think we want that wall back. So the frame there is it's not just about Donald Trump. It's a we movement. It's going to take all of us to get this done, to make this happen. And so it's going to, and I think that's a really important frame to him to lay out there. And you talk about, hey, the world, the country's not in a great place right now. He's going to continue to make that conversation more and more paramount so that people finally realize, like, oh, maybe I don't want to vote for more inflation in my life. I want to play one more clip here for you. We'll play some more afterwards. But again, this is President Trump making his announcement last night. Do you feel it's a good thing or a bad thing that President Trump is running in 2024? Would love to know your point of view. Very easy to share. You can call in at 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. Here's more from President Trump, and think about what he has to say right here. China played a very active role in the 2020 election. There's a nice little breadcrumb Easter egg for you. It's really staggering when you look at what's happening now as far as, and we haven't really had a chance to touch on this, but even in the G20, right? Joe Biden meets with President Xi from China. We just mentioned this the other day, but you think about what President Trump was able to do to have manufacturing come back from China back to the United States. I mean, there were major investments from companies coming back into the States. Even Apple is looking at moving some of the manufacturing into Vietnam. Hasn't been as much conversation around India as I'd like to see, but there were shifts. There was shift in the sand because of what Trump was doing. And then you put President Biden over in front of President Xi at the G20. Doesn't even mention COVID. How do you sit down with the president of China and not even at least address, talk about, open up a dialogue about the origins of COVID after it's decimated millions and millions of people, the economy all across the globe? It makes you start to wonder what's going on here. That's why we're going to get to Klaus Schwab later in the show. What exactly is happening here? Klaus Schwab, the president of the World Economic Forum. But not only does he not address COVID, he doesn't even bring up the word fentanyl. We lost over 100,000 Americans to overdoses just last year alone. Majority of those from fentanyl that's coming through the southern border of the United States with Mexico, all from China. And you don't bring that up to the president of the country? A country where President Trump had asked him about this in the past. And, hey, what do you guys do here? Like, do you have a drug problem? And she's like, drug problem? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, like we've got this, issue over in the States where people, he's like, no, we find out somebody's dealing drugs, you're in the clink. I think he even said we give them the death penalty over there in China. Now, I don't know if I'm a proponent for that. All I'm saying is, how do you not bring it up when you lose 100,000 fellow Americans? You can email the show, very easy to do, thanks to Red Wing Shoes. Check out redwingshoes.com. Again, that's redwingshoes.com. And you can email us, studio@chrisbergshow.com.
Well, President Trump has spoken, and now Newsmax is conducting an urgent poll. Will you support Trump again or DeSantis? Newsmax wants to know what you think. To vote in the Newsmax national poll, just text the word rally to 39747. That's rally to 39747. It takes just seconds. Text rally to 39747. It's your chance to let your voice be heard. Every day I tune into Newsmax for the real news I can trust. I watch Rob Schmidt every night. Rob asks really tough questions. If you haven't seen Rob Schmidt, check him out tonight. Millions are like me. They're making the switch to Newsmax. And don't forget to vote in Newsmax poll on Trump versus DeSantis. Just text the word rally to 39747. That's rally to 39747. And make the switch to Newsmax today. You're going to love Newsmax.
Cooler weather has arrived, and as a coffee drinker, you want delicious hot coffee. Moxie Java is ready for you. They have 6 exciting new fall drinks, including the pumpkin waffle latte. Of course, but he does pumpkin spice lattes better than Moxie Java. Inside Moxie Java has warm indoor seating, an inviting fireplace, and free Wi-Fi. But if you're on the go, take advantage of the drive-thru right next to Bell Bank on the corner of 32nd Avenue and Cheyenne Street at the Lights in West Fargo.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the North Dakota Army National Guard. Aired by the North Dakota Broadcasters Association at this station.
Brr, sounds like winter out there.
Did you just say?
Yep, they sure did, and it's coming. Hi, I'm Matthew, owner of Fix It Forward Auto Care. Winter's on the way, and it's time to get ready, including getting new all-weather tires designed specifically for our icy winter weather. Take advantage of our current rebates and availability, and our team can have you ready for winter today. Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair.
Fix It Forward Auto Care. Good times. These are the good times. Leave your cares behind. These are the good times.
Are they the good times? Many of you may disagree with what's been happening, obviously, across our country, from the economy to all the shows going on in front of kids. It's just some of those things you're like, wait, what in the world is happening? Can we just not be Sodom and Gomorrah? I mean, again, I go back to 2 Chronicles 7:14. I mean, that has just got to be, I think, our battle cry right now as we all turn back to God and pray and ask for forgiveness, fast, and say, okay, you know what? We're going to forego the bad things we've been doing. Just come and heal this land. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today. He's a poli-sci professor. I said, this is what you do. Like this is your life. You study what's happening right now from a political perspective. I said, what do we do? Like, where does this go? Now, he's got a much different perspective on the world than I do, but he talked about, hey, look, I don't know, maybe we have to flip this thing into a parliamentary system. That's where people are at right now. People are tired of what's going on, and it's going to take you and I to unify and to restore this nation. You can either be part of the Great Awakening or the Great Reset. That's where we're going to get to Klaus Schwab later, who'd love to see nothing more than a great reset. A little bit more of President Trump here. I'd love to know your point of view on President Trump making the announcement yesterday. Are you a yay or a nay for President Trump running in 2024? You can text us. Very easy to do. 701-203-2260. Again, 701-203-2260. Here's President Trump saying this. So what is he saying there? There's more pain on the way. We don't quite feel it yet. What do you think he's communicating? I've got an email that came in that I want to get to here in just a moment that sort of alludes to this as well. But even Jeff Bezos the other day had, they're laying off 10,000 people. There's been over 120,000 tech layoffs just this year. I mean, that's a ginormous number. 10,000 at Amazon, 11,000 at Meta, 50% over at Twitter. You had Stripe. I don't know if you're familiar with Stripe, but Stripe laid off 14,000 people. I mean, these are large numbers of layoffs. And what I think President Trump is getting at here is, look, you've seen the Fed continue to raise rates because of inflation. And even the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, basically said at several of his press conferences, throughout the year, like, look, yes, unemployment's going to go up. Deal with it. Not my problem. I still got a job. You're going to have to figure it out. It's just, he didn't say it that way, but it's essentially what he's saying. And I believe that's exactly what President Trump is alluding to is, yes, the mortgages are down. Homes are going another direction. The market's somehow still floating, but you got this crypto carnage. Just wait till we get into 2023. And that is why yesterday we're going to get into more of this. What I shared with you is just pay attention to what they're doing with the digital dollar. I told you yesterday was breaking news. The New York Federal Reserve, many banks are now doing a 12-week trial run, if you will, with a digital dollar. We all know where it's going. That's going to become a reality much sooner maybe than we even anticipated. I thought it was going to be probably January, February. The media was going to be hyping a digital dollar and everyone's going to be like, oh, okay, a digital dollar. And then by probably June, July next year, that's when they're going to flip it. So you just, again, the point of this show here, and I've said this for many, many times on the show, is it's one thing to talk about the news. Nothing against people that talk about the news, but anybody can do that. You're talking about stuff that's already happened. Anybody can talk about the news. When you look at people that are the best in the world at what they do, people that are the best in the world at what they do is they are outstanding at recognizing patterns. Guy that hits 333 versus a guy that hits 200 in Major League Baseball, guy that hits 333 makes millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars more than the guy that hits 200. Why? Because he recognizes patterns better. He can understand the patterns of a pitcher better to know by that body movement, I know I got a curveball coming. It's going to be hanging over the plate. I'm about to knock that thing home. If you look at great stockbrokers, great people in the markets, they recognize patterns. They know when to say, yes, I'm going to buy, and when to say it's time to sell. It's pattern recognition. So the purpose of the show here is to say, look, if you look at the patterns over the horizon, these are the things you can anticipate. We may or may not be right 100% of the time, and at least gives you a frame of reference to start making some decisions for you and your family that hopefully are going to be best for you and your family. So you just heard President Trump talk about some more of the pain that's on the way. I want to read an email to you from Lisa. She says this: some of the stations say that we're already there, saying, hey, the previous email made a statement that Trump wins if the Biden administration makes everything so horrible. A lot of people here at the station are suggesting that's already the case. Lisa goes on to say, I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we are where things are really, really bad yet. She goes, I'll give you a couple of reasons. You'll still see now hiring signs at retail and fast food. There are about 50 kids in my son's Taekwondo class. Parents are not going to pay for the extras if they only have limited funds. I actually think we've got a tough road still in front and haven't seen the severity of what's to come. Wow. I think she's right. But I think the red states can be pockets of hope. I recently read this quote: through hope, collective effort, solidarity. Apply this across the board to all the current issues. So I bring that up, and I was going to wait on this, but I'm going to play it now because it just the timing's there. Oh, where is it? Give me one moment, please. I want to bring up this clip from Klaus Schwab where he basically says to you, hey, guess what? Your income's going down. You're not going to have as much disposable income. Not my problem. You're going to have to just deal with it and figure it out. Because what does he care? He's hanging out with all the elites. Klaus Schwab, president of the World Economic Forum, he gets to hang out with all the elites. He doesn't care if you've got disposable income. In fact, remember, it's the World Economic Forum that said to us, you will own nothing and be happy. You will own nothing and be happy. All right, here's Klaus Schwab. Listen, so basically what he's talking about here is a little bit previous. I don't want to play all of it for you, but it's just the fundamental changes that need to take place systematically across the globe, whether that be in politics, economics, whatever it might be. But there's systematic structural changes that need to take place. And then he starts to talk about, look, when you make structural changes, you know what? There's going to be some collateral damage, essentially. So that's just how life is. There's just going to be some collateral damage. You're going to have to deal with it and figure it out. So keep in mind, Klaus Schwab is a person that's basically for, it's called stakeholder capitalism. It's kind of like Chinese capitalism, if you will. He's a globalist. Here's what he had to say. John, let's get some volume, please. If you restructure an economy, the result is a reduction of income. Thank you, John. I know it's a little bit tough to hear, but that's why I want to repeat this. If you restructure an economy, the result is a reduction of income. Deal with it. He doesn't care. Do you hear what he's saying? I mean, this is the guy that was part of the engineer of the COVID situation. Hey, you're going to have less income. I see that it's causing tension across the globe. How do we deal with this? Not like, hey, you know what? Let's make sure we start to raise the quality of life for everybody. No, he's just like, look, we're going to make these structural changes, whether you like it or not. So here's some ideas. This is the person who wrote the book on the Great Reset. So the question with where we're going here in the next few years that you need to ask yourself, I guess there's a couple things. You can take a couple approaches. One, do you want to be part of the Great Reset? Totally resets the globe, resets everything. So is that where you want to be? Or would you rather be part of the Great Awakening, which is the place where we're going to say, you know what? We are going to do 2 Chronicles 7:14, pray for our nation, get things reunited here, and we're going to enjoy and cherish and relish sovereignty and liberty. Or you can just check out and watch Netflix. Those are kind of the 3 options right now. The Great Reset, the Great Awakening, or bury your head in the sand. All right, when we come back, I want to play a little bit more of Klaus Schwab because he does talk about where he's taking things and the combination of the uniparty, if you will. Also, Mitch McConnell today asked about, hey, how do you feel about President Trump running in 2024? And again, if you want to email us, please do so. It's studio@chrisbergshow.com. Thanks to redwingshoes.com.
Mostly cloudy for this evening with a few scattered light snow flurries. We'll have a southwest wind around 10 to 20, which will turn to the northwest overnight around 10 to 25, with some scattered snow showers continuing into Thursday, mixing with strong wind gusting over 30 to the northwest, producing some blowing snow and reduced visibility on your Thursday. We'll have a high of 23 with temperatures falling towards 3 above Thursday night. A light dusting up to 2 inches of snow is expected. From the Flag Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Hey everybody, it's time for Wednesday Wheels, brought to you by Puckett Chevy Buick GMC in Valley City.
John Zimba here, Puckett in Valley City for Wheels Wednesday. It is a 2019 GMC Sierra 3/4 ton diesel Denali. It was a one-owner vehicle that was traded in, and we did sell it brand new. It's got everything that you could want in it, the heated and cooled seats, the heated steering wheel, the safety alert package, which consists of the forward collision alert, lane keep assist, and lane change alert. It's got 93,536 miles on it. It's got the fifth wheel B&W turnover ball in it already as well. We are selling this one for $59,000.
And you heard him. You'll save hundreds of dollars if you let him know you heard about it on the Flag. Stop in at 721 West Main in Valley City. Call 1-800-401-4352 or online at pucklettvalleycity.com. North Dakota's home for Chevy.
Thanks, and have a great day.
If you're a rock star truck driver but wish you could be home more often as your kids get involved with more activities, you should check out Prairie Supply. Prairie Supply is well respected in the construction industry across North Dakota. They're looking for passionate CDL drivers all across the state and in South Dakota. You'll be well paid and receive full benefits, and they want to keep their people through an environment of success and advancement options. Drive a truck and be home most nights with the family, with openings from West Fargo to Williston and Minot to Grand Forks. Visit prairiesupply.com.
Have you ever thought about selling your home but quickly talk yourself out of it when you consider all the repairs, cleaning, inspections, open houses, and the unknown of what price your home will actually sell at? Stop stressing. We will buy your home as is with no appraisals or costly commissions to worry about. You can even pick your closing date. Call me, John Osala with JK Property Partners at 701-306-3229 or go to fargohomevalues.com for an instant valuation.
Gobble up the savings on all remaining 2022 vehicles at Luther Family Buick GMC. Get 3.99% financing for 72 months on all new 2022 models or 4.49% financing on all 2023 models. Gobble up the savings on our best selection of inventory we've had since 2021. Only at Luther Family Buick GMC, corner of I-29 and 32nd Avenue South, Fargo. We are professional grade.
Been looking for a golf cart for the lake, cabin, or the course? Largest selection of Club Car Onward golf carts within 150 miles is available at All Season Motorsports. 0% financing. That's 0% financing for up to 36 months on 2022 and 23 Club Car golf carts. All inventory must go. Largest selection of club cars at 0% financing. All Season Motorsports off I-94 and Cheyenne Street, West Fargo. Hurry before they're gone.
Moorhead, let us into...
Your farm and business depends on a reliable source for energy. PetroServe USA is the customer-owned co-op committed to being a stable source of fuel for your equipment and propane to dry your grain. We have the capacity to make sure you never run out of fuel and to keep prices stable. Dependability, competitive prices, and exemplary service. That's PetroServe USA, helping America fuel better.
PetroServe USA.
Call today.
21st century's yesterday. You can care all you want. Everybody does, yeah, that's okay, yeah.
Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. Coming to you live from the PetroServe USA studio, helping you and America fuel better. I want to remind you, as you're out heading out. Apparently, I'm so into what's happening in the world. There's a weather advisory sweeping across the state. So if you're out and about, heading home from work or driving around, be sure and stop into your local PetroServe USA. And if you happen to be around Harwood, you've got a brand new, big, beautiful store. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. A little Cafe USA in there as well. They got some fresh burgers, some chicken, all kinds of goodies for you. So as you fill up the tank, you can also fill up your belly. That's at PetroServe USA, helping you and America fuel better. We're talking today about President Trump making his announcement last night. Yes, he is running in 2024. I was chatting with somebody yesterday, like, is there any chance that he announces he might be Speaker of the House? I was like, you know what? I doubt it. I don't think he would do that, but boy, I would love that reality show. Can you imagine President Trump, Speaker of the House, walking up, taking the gavel from Speaker Pelosi? Like, that in and of itself would be pay-per-view. Like, I would love to be the person that got to promote that. Just be like, here's the deal. We're not going to actually do this publicly. It's going to be all pay-per-view. We're going to show you and President Trump taking the gavel from Nancy Pelosi and how that would go down. If you remember some of the White House battles when Trump was in the White House and you had Schumer and Pelosi come in there and Trump would just do the negotiation on live TV. No, Chuck, we're not doing that. You're just like, what is going on right now? So a lot of feedback coming into the show. If you want to email us, very easy to do. Studio at chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio at chrisbergshow.com. I want to say thank you to Red Wing Shoes for sponsoring our studio email inbox. But are you a yay or a nay on Trump running, most importantly? But then there's a lot of people like, look, I love the policies. Don't really know if I have an issue with Trump, running. At the end of the day, though, I like to win. I want to win. And a lot of people are suggesting that President Trump just is not going to have the chops to win in 2024 because of the way the media is painting him and, blah, 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 blah. So email comes in and they say, hey, this is like Groundhog Day. 7 years ago, people said Trump couldn't win. Do you remember some of the clips back then? I mean, people laughing hysterically. Oh, yeah, this Trump guy. And they would just laugh. Then he walked into 1600 Penn. Their laughter went to hatred. They said, hey, Trump couldn't win. The same people today are saying the same thing, claim they won't back him. He needs to enjoy retirement. Democrats win because they back their guy no matter what. Have you seen Democrats throwing Joe under the bus? No one else has the courage to take on the swamp without backing down out of fear what they might do to him. Republicans have got no spine. They just talk tough. Boy, I started the show sharing with you months ago. I said, look, a third party is on the way. I don't know exactly when. I don't know exactly how. It's just coming because another text in here, same thing. Hey, Chris, McConnell elected to be the leader of the GOP. Says McConnell elected. He's part of the problem. Swamp is alive and well. Did our two guys vote for him? Here's what I do know. I know the vote went down 37-10 in the GOP caucus in the Senate. So there was 10 people that voted against McConnell. I do not know where Hoeven and Kramer sat on that. We're working on getting that information for you. But my presumption is, actually, no, I'm not going to share my presumption. You can make your own presumptions based off the numbers I just gave you. 37-10. I want to play for you in a moment. And I've said this now repeatedly. You've got to watch. I honestly believe McConnell plays checkers, Trump plays chess. I mean, let's be honest. Besides, the three SCOTUSes, McConnell's terrible what he does. He can't negotiate, doesn't know how to play chess. So I'll share with you today, Mitch McConnell was asked this, and here's what he had to say. Some volume, please. Doesn't address the Georgia runoff. And I think that's an important point. Should Trump have waited till after the Georgia runoff? We'll see. We'll see how much gunpowder Trump puts into that Georgia Senate race. Now that we know that the Senate is going to probably go to the Democrats, there's going to be a lot less money spent there. And do you want Warnock in there? Probably not. So we'll see what Trump does with his resources within that state. Kemp won handily over Stacey Abrams. Kemp and Trump hate each other. So there's a variable to think about as you think about what's going to go on December 6th there. Got another text that came in, says, hey, do you think Trump announced his run for 2024? And I said a while ago, we all know when you think about what can happen in a grand jury, they can basically indict a ham sandwich. Right? I mean, you can indict anything, anybody for anything. And this person says, hey, do you think Trump announced his run for 2024? So if the Dems want to arrest him, now they can't as easily because then it would look like they're trying to erase a candidate who was once loved as president. Well, if you remember with Biden, right? I mean, there was a conversation about Biden with he's over in Ukraine and says, hey, we're not going to give you $1 billion unless you get rid of that prosecutor. They're like, you can't do that. You're not. Oh, yeah? Call Barack and ask him. Sure enough, that prosecutor was fired. I mean, you're using our tax money now to fire prosecutors in other countries. I think that there's a opportunity to look into what's going on there, but it never happened. There was never any charges, no indictment, no nothing, because people said you can't do that to a candidate who's running for president. So it looks like they're trying to take a guy out. They tried to do it already in Mar-a-Lago when they went and had the FBI go search him and hoping that was going to scare him off and all the other things they've done with January 6th and whatnot. So did he announce now because he wants to avoid the indictment? I think you could make that argument, but who really knows? Trump's playing a totally different 4D chess game at times. So we'll see how that all plays out. So McConnell, we'll see what he does, right? Now he's in the situation, and if he can pick up Herschel, fantastic. But in my opinion, I just don't think McConnell is the right guy. We're going to find out what Hoeven and Kramer did and if they backed him or not. But he, in my opinion, is a major, major problem for what's going on. Another text that came in I want to get to as well. If you want to email us, you can do so. It's studio@chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio@chrisbergshow.com. Another text says, hey, Chris, the media is going to come down hard on DeSantis also. No doubt about that. When you look at what DeSantis did within the Latino vote in Florida, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, I've been sharing with you now for quite some time. And I had some fun on the show because, I'm studying Spanish right now, so I'll drop some Spanish every now and then with you. But I think it's imperative that you continue to communicate with the Latino community, the Hispanic community, because that is where it's at. There was an incredible study I just saw recently where the average age of the Hispanic, a Latino in the United States of America right now, the average age is 11. That is a long lifetime voter. 25% of small businesses in America now owned by Latinos. Most business owners, pro-conservative values, pro-family. There is a huge opportunity within the Latino community to come in, communicate effectively, share with them about the American dream, and have them vote Republican. If and when that happens, you will see the Democrats want to reinstate a wall, and they will stop what's going down at the southern border. Yesterday, Governor Abbott from Texas declared it's an invasion. Literally came out and said, look, this is an invasion to our nation that's happening right now when you've got 2 million people that cross the southern border unchecked, walking around, getting flown to wherever they want to go on your dime. They're trying to turn it blue. Another text that comes in says, hey, Chris, McConnell elected. Okay, that's part of the problem. Chris, besides the big layoffs and supply chain issues, inflation, hold on a second here. Diesel shortages, train union strike. Biden also asked Saudi Arabia to delay the OPEC cut of oil. Get strapped on. It's going to be one heck of a ride. You know, real quickly, I just want to touch on this because I had a lot of people contact me yesterday when the missile hit the situation in Poland and took out a couple people. If you remember the initial headlines, like, oh my gosh, Russia, the Poland, the NATO, blah, let's go to World War III. Like everyone on CNN, everyone was just freaking out. And then everyone just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Because now we find out that it was actually a missile from Ukraine that was trying to protect itself, got over into Poland, and killed 2 Polish people. And my point is, you still lost 2 humans. You still lost 2 humans. Just so you're aware, even though they're trying to be, Ukraine's still not part of NATO. But now it's everyone's like, oh, well, it's just Ukraine. We just, okay, whatever. Just when you see the headlines of some of this stuff trying to go down, take a deep breath. Got another text coming in. I've seen this twice now. I'm going to leave it here because, again, you can either be part of the Great Awakening or the Great Reset. G20 Summit calling for global health passports. Central government digital currency. We told you that yesterday. The digital currency is going to be about tracking all your payments, your carbon footprint, and if your BMI is too much, no hot dogs and beers for you. All right, when we come back, speaking about hot dogs and beers, we're going to be talking about Ice Fest 2022 at Shields coming up right after this. Hey, Chris Berg here. We had our first snowfall last week. This week, we're going to celebrate the ice. The Shields annual Ice Fest event is going to be taking place at Shields on Friday all week long here on the Chris Berg Show. We're going to have special guests breaking down what you need to know coming up this ice fishing season. For example, Outlet Rex is going to be with us. Glacial Lakes Snow Bear is going to be with us. Also, Flame King, Garmin, and much, much more all week long right here on the Chris Berg Show for the Fargo Shields Ice Fest on Friday.
Did you know our water in Fargo and West Fargo has doubled in hardness in the last few years? That's why we put a full water treatment system in from Lindsay Echo Water. Hi, friends. It's Scott Hennon. Do like Maria and I did. Put this in your home. It protects your faucets and fixtures, eliminates hardness residue from shower doors, absolutely saves time on cleaning. And the softening system, unlike others, removes chlorine, ammonia, and other harmful skin irritating gases. It's great for your hair and your skin. Call Lindsay Echo Water today, 218-233-8655. Online at lindsayEchoWater.com. Now more than ever, it's important to support companies and organizations that share our values. Patriot Mobile not only shares our beliefs, but actually does something about it. America's only Christian conservative wireless carrier, and they donate a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes you care about. Switch to Patriot Mobile now. Get free activation with the code FLAGFAMILY. Switching is easy. Go to patriotmobile.com/flagfamily. patriotmobile.com/flagfamily or call 972-PATRIOT. 972-PATRIOT.
At the University of Mary, we are truly military friendly. Our special admissions team has years of real-world military experience, so we know just how to support your advancement every step of the way. We offer scholarships, credit for prior learning, and make sure you and your family receive all available military benefits. Classes start every 5 weeks. Discover University of Mary's true military-friendly community at umary.edu/military services.
Discover Kinder Care. Kinder Care is assisted living homes located in West Fargo, offering adult daycare services, companion care, and assisted living. All the services you need available at Kinder Care, plus home-cooked meals, 24-hour security, personal care, and more, all in a cozy family environment located on 3 acres of land in a scenic, quiet country setting in West Fargo. KinderCareFargo.com or call 701-261-3246.
Food, football, and fun in the fall. Tailgaters brings it all together with their all-you-can-eat lunch buffet from 11 to 2 weekdays or dinner and an ice-cold beverage after work. Tailgaters is the place. There's no better place to watch football on Saturday and Sunday. Each game day, get their never-frozen, fresh-made half-pound burgers with fries for just $10.99. Domestic pints and bottles just $4 and live music every Friday night at 7. This week, the Mystery Band plays at Tailgaters, corner of Main and University, downtown Fargo.
Ice, ice, baby. Vanilla. Ice, ice, baby. Vanilla. Ice, ice, baby. Vanilla. Ice, ice.
Karn, you're up.
A red stout. Oh, we hit me in the middle of the song. I was ready to go.
I didn't know that either. I thought for sure, like, oh, he's going to set you up. But can you take it from the middle?
Crazy one. I hear a cymbal on a hi-hat with a souped-up tempo. I'm on a roll. Time to go solo. Roll it. I can't, man. I was ready to go at the beginning, but man, I tell you,
the one and
it's been
only.
a few years. It's been a year since I've done it in this studio. But
Karn
it's been a few
Olson
years
from
since.
Seals. What's your nickname? Did we come up with one last time?
I respond to pretty much everything.
Ice Cubicle?
Yeah. I respond to pretty much anything these days, so I'm
I kinda
a
like
little
icicle.
embarrassed.
Icicle for you is good.
Just
So
don't call me the Ice Queen. That doesn't sound like a compliment.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the antithesis.
Jay
of you.
Thomas calls me the VP of Fun at Shields, so I'll take that.
Yes.
Yeah, or the athletic director of Shields University. I'll take that too. Like,
Wow.
yeah, I got some good ones.
I do. A VP of Fun is very, very good.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah. Just we need to integrate a little bit more hearts. Even Icicle's maybe a little bit not appropriate for the one and only Karn Olson from Shields. She's got Ice Fest though 2022 coming up, and one of her favorite people that apparently is phenomenal with brats, tents, and beers in studio. So that's kind of all we need to know, right? Like that's a wrap. Come out and join us this weekend. Brats, tents, and beers, and we're good. So Steve, it's great to have you. Thanks for being here. And you're with Eskimo, yes?
Yes, ice fishing industry person, Eskimo, other things. Yes, we're going to be there doing the brat beer tent thing.
We won't be. Sorry, I got to interject. We will not be doing the beer thing. Let's not
That's
start
right.
that rumor.
Yes.
I would love that. It's not a part of the event programming this weekend. Brats, maybe grilling outside. Maybe we will have a food truck, a panini food truck, hot off the press. Paninis and soups this weekend. There will not be beer. Okay.
Way to right the ship.
Sorry. I can hear people in our corporate office going, "Huh? No, we will not have beer."
You may have just
Unfortunately, we
summed
will
up
not have
ice
beer.
fishing, though. I don't know.
The sport of.
Yes.
Yes, just not
Allegedly.
in said parking lot.
Allegedly.
So I love that you're like, hey, I'm just the ice fishing industry guy. Do you have like an Ice Winkleman name, or what do we have for you? No,
there's Mr. Bluegills out there. There's Mr. Crappies. There's all kinds of different. But no,
This is just
I just
Steve.
get to
This is
help.
Steve.
Yeah, this is just me. I just get to help and enjoy what we do. This is a fun time of year for us. And as we were chatting earlier, white gold is in the air, and ice cubes are forming everywhere.
That's what the industry calls snow.
It's
Chris.
snow. Yes, white gold.
White gold.
That was also How to Lose a Man in 10 Days, wasn't it?
No, that's frosting. That was frosting. Very close.
So yeah, it sure looks like winter out there. So I heard there's an event happening that we're all
so
looking forward to.
This always just kind of goes wherever, doesn't it, with you and I, Karn?
Yeah,
in a
that's
different
good, though.
direction we thought we were going to go.
So tell us about the event. Like, what gets you so excited about what's happening with Ice Fest this weekend?
Well, for us that do this for a living, we start talking about this season, right? The 22-23 ice fishing season in the spring, nearly at the end of last year. And so all of this is really a culmination of all these things that we've been talking about and getting the industry ready for. So this is kind of like our, ice fishing opener.
The Super Bowl,
I think
in a way,
so.
right?
Yeah. I mean,
The Black Friday of ice fishing.
Yes, we We are in the
VP of
proverbial
fun.
epicenter. Yes, the VP of fun. We are in the epicenter of this, and the conditions are perfect. And so everybody gets so excited. It's such a neat community of people that love to do this. And I was chatting with somebody this morning, as a matter of fact, who has some people that they know from Las Vegas coming up, who they grew up with, who have never done this before, and are going to do it for the first time over the holiday period, right after the first of the year. That had another conversation with somebody. They were on a vacation in Hawaii, and they were showing pictures of what we do, and just couldn't believe that there was a trailer and a truck on the ice. Another story from somebody that was up from Alabama recently that was going to look at some product stuff, and like, hey, let us know when we're out on the ice. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. And like 10 minutes later, they're like, we've been out here for 10 minutes. just so you know. So, I mean,
Sounds
those,
about right.
so that's why we get excited. We finally get a chance to talk with folks who just love to do this, and we get to do it really this weekend for the first time. This last week is a big week for those of us that do this.
Steve Hansen's in studio with us. He's sharing some stuff right there. Also, Karn Olson from Shields. And for you, Karn, I mean, talking about the hours, location, and just why people should come out this weekend. What are some special items that are going to be happening?
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday 9 to 8, Saturday 9 to 6, Saturday 11 to 3. One of the reasons that I love Ice Fest is because it really gets the anglers geared up and ready to go for the season. The weather is prime for it this year. We've not ever had weather like this during an Ice Fest, so it is really primed for the season. And we're going to have the best deals that we've had before you're even out fishing. So, I mean, you can't beat that. It's like buying a winter jacket in September and getting a really great deal on it. Haven't even had winter yet, and you're already scoring the great deal, right? And so one of the reasons that Steve's an important part of what we do is that he represents Ion Augers, who has the new Alpha Plus auger. So if you're interested in checking that out, we will have that at Shields. And then also Markham lineup, and they have blessed us with a gift for the first 100 each day through the tent. Are going to get that Markham bucket. So, and then the next 100 will get the Ice Fest beanie, but the first 100 are going to want that bucket.
The new Ion Auger does what? Like, just makes my life easier, or
Steve?
Oh, me?
Yeah, like 15 seconds.
Got it.
Man.
Okay. What jumps higher, runs faster, all the things, right? So if you want to drill fast, great. If you want to drill in a wheelhouse where people like to drill slow and controlled, where all the slush and stuff goes right where it needs to be, it really kind of answers all these things that the angler's looking for. Step one, get through the ice. This will do it for you really well.
Very well said. Come out and join us on Friday. The show's going to be live there at Shields on 45th Street for Ice Fest 2022. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 4 p.m.